All right, everybody, this is Chris coming from Drop Dice. So, in case you guys missed it, I just want to give a quick shout out to Murdoch. We're launching a new game on the channel. It's going to be called Dragon Ball Victory, and Murdoch is actually going to be hosting this one. The Session 0 / preview episode was today, and we're hoping to see more from it. I'm getting pretty excited about it, even though I'm not even playing. I thought the game was just a lot of fun the last time I got to play it, so it's good to see it getting played again. So you're going to see some stuff on the website as that goes along. But let's kind of introduce everybody. This is Legend of the Five Rings. We're back again. And this time we're going to pick up from Cute and Hida, where you guys were last time, getting kind of settled in as the first snowfall hits and your master Kunikaru arrives. We're going to go down the line here, and starting with Brendan, if you'd like to do your intro real quick.
Hi, I'm still Brendan, and I'm still playing Zitsubasa, the Seedsmith, and I'm going to make some stuff. If I don't die.
We have to use the word still now because some of us aren't playing the same character. Speaking of which, Jeremy, your turn.
Hi, Jeremy here. Sorry I wasn't here last week. Kind of been without internet for about 8 days or something like that due to moving. Yeah, I'm going to be playing Batu Tenchu, the Resident Lion Clan badass and all around better than you. And
that's why you die all the time.
Brother-in-law to Kakita Toshiro.
And we didn't actually get to do too much to introduce this character just yet. Let's talk about the meta real quick. What you said you're a Matsu. What kind of Matsu are you?
As in which
your school, if you would.
My school. I am from the Matsu Berserker school.
Okay.
And I was originally trained by my mother, who was also previous Berserker. Let's see. My father is I should probably. I wrote this down somewhere. I don't fully remember. I remember he was an Akuro.
Mm-hmm.
But he, of course, took on her name when they married. And I married Toshiro's sister not too long ago due to, I forget what was it, an alliance of
yeah, it was an attempt to settle some peace ties between your families.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get back into remember some things. And so I mean, I was the lucky one. Apparently she doesn't think that way, but hey, I mean, I'm happy. And so I'm here under her request to help her brother. And well, I don't know too much about everybody else. I've met Toshiro a couple times, but limited interactions. And other than that, I'm pretty much a your standard Matsu for the most part. I have some differences, but I mean nothing too big.
Okay.
I'd have to actually pull up the 20 questions if you really want to go deeper into it.
Well, we've got the 20 questions posted on there. I just kind of wanted to give everybody the short version, so that's pretty good. And then next up is going to be Murdoch.
Hi, I'm playing Kakita Toshiro. Regrettable in-law to Matsu Tenchu, but
always hating me.
I'll end up scorpion killing him somehow. Wait a minute.
I don't like
I will save the world from Maho.
Okay, and next is Tom.
Hi everyone, I'm playing Miramata Kaji, resident Dragon Clan Niten user.
Okay, and I just wanted to throw it out there. I turned on the question answer application just before we started, but some of you that may have arrived early may not have the question and answer showing in your screen. All you have to do is refresh, and it should come right up for you. Since we forgot it last week.
But what if that one person wanted to ask a question?
That's what the YouTube comments were for, unfortunately. I like the feedback in the video a little bit better, actually. So we didn't do any letters last week for whatever reason. Maybe hype for Dragon Ball Z, I don't know. But who would like to take a moment and do kind of a recap of what had happened when you arrived in Kyuden Hida?
If you want, I can take a shot at trying to recreate the events that you guys did.
How about no? I'll do it.
Everything he says is canon once he says it, though. So you better hope he likes your character and doesn't kill you stupidly.
Everybody
Let's
would be
let
living.
Brendan do it.
Brendan, it's Brendan. It's all him now.
Okay. You guys can teamwork it together. There are some special things that I want to make sure get notated.
No, I want Brendan to have to do this off the cuff.
Okay.
Pressure, Brendan. Pressure.
Smoke.
Well, we arrived at Hiden Kuta last time with our refugees. I did not die of pneumonia. That was nice. We met with Hida. What's his name? Hida
Kasada.
Kasada. He's the guy in charge there. We gave him our report as to all the nonsense that happened back in the other city. Let's see. We were waiting for Kakita's sensei to come to Hiden Kuta as well, so we can ask him what's going on with that, with the corruption thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the main thing we're waiting for, and Hida actually gave us his awesome crystal blade.
That's right. It's a Cry-Steel Wakizashi that was given to Miyamoto Kaji, which is why he gained some honor last week. So the other thing that Hida did is he invited you to the first winter court that Kyuden Hida will have since its recovery, which was about 3 years ago. You know that there's a lot of construction still going on. In fact, C was recruited to become a spear maker for a while, and he actually met a Caillou engineer that belittled his craft and then ended up being quite surprised by his ability to keep up with her light work.
Yep, we all found little things to do for a few days. Like I got to work making spears. Kakita joined the city guard to help out, and Kaji sort of just went around, talked to the other warriors, and I think did a little demonstration for them.
I visited the Bushi school.
That's right.
And then they did their whole Community Spirits thing, and found out that there's some mystical tattoo set that they need to go get, so they're gonna drag C. Tsubasa along with them.
That is
Because we're going on an adventure.
That is absolutely
No
correct.
party splitting.
You guys had made a discovery that inside the Shadowlands there was once the Oblivion Gate, and that some of the Lady Moon's believers tattooed themselves with protective tattoos. Yep.
Wait, shit, there's an Elder Scroll in the Shadowlands? Thank you, Tom.
But you had found out that in the Shadowlands, if you were to look at the map, it would be for 4th edition map, CB8. There is a castle that has been kind of reclaimed and passed back and forth between the Crab and the Shadowlands. Currently, it's in the possession of some Shadowland demons. You're not entirely certain what exactly is hiding in there, but your goal is to set out before Kunitaru arrives. You've gathered your things, and the whole point was if you left when Kunitaru was here, you're fairly certain he would have followed you, and given his advanced age, he may have died in the Shadowlands. So that's what's encouraged you to kind of get out there and start moving as soon as you could.
No, my master is undying.
I'm gonna have to agree with this guy.
You know for a fact your master has died once before. He came
Yeah,
back,
and then
but
he
he
came
has
back.
died.
So technically not undying,
Hey,
it just doesn't stick.
If he did it once, he can do it again.
Okay, so CBS or CB3 is the Fortress of the Forgotten. That's the location that you guys are headed to, where we are going to pick up.
CB8.
Or sorry, CB8, not Fortress of the
I
Forgotten.
was like, Jesus, dude, that's far.
Shirahumura. Where we are picking up is the Carpenter Pass, which is in the 4th edition book, G3. It is a section of the wall that has been opened up for travel between the Shadowlands and Rukagon. We're going to open our story there with you guys on a cart that has some supplies for yourselves. You've been given a small staple of jade that should last you about a month's worth of journey out there. But you know that if you were to stay a month's worth of time in the Shadowlands, there's a good chance that you may get stranded due to snow. So time is of the essence on this little adventure that you're going on.
Were we given Rukagani ponies?
You have oxen that are pulling the cart right now.
That's more badass.
Were they going into the Shadowlands with us or no?
Yes, oxen can go into the Shadowlands. The ones that you have these jade beads that have been bearded into their ox beards. Braided into their ox beards. There we go.
I was gonna say it'd be awesome if someone replaced their horns with jade horns.
I'd be fucking vile.
They do have horn rings that have been slipped over their horns that are jade pieces. Oxen are specifically prized in the Shadowlands because they usually don't scare as easily as horses do. So for taking a caravan through and carrying supplies, they're usually the preferred animal to bring with you. They're also a little bit more durable, and they require less food.
How long is the journey supposed to take?
If you were to straight shot it to go there and then come back, you figure it's about a 2-week journey. But you've been given supplies just in case it takes up to a month. The only catch is if it takes a month, you may be stranded in the Shadowlands and you're going to run out of food and jade to keep you from getting tainted. Speaking of taint, the new taint, you guys did a little more research into how it works and everything. Going into the Shadowlands is willingly accepting the risk. So anything that you encounter in the Shadowlands still has the capability of giving you taint because you willingly entered the Shadowlands.
Yep.
For what Tenchu was doing while you guys were getting everything set, I'm going to say that he was working with the refugees to assign them to different places within the city and get them to other locations around the Crablands so that they could hold up for winter because at Hida there wasn't enough supplies to support all of those refugees.
I'm perfectly acceptable to this outcome.
Okay.
I disagree.
Well, too bad.
No, because it's your character. It was away, taking a piss.
He was taking a piss when he was not helping the refugees. Or you.
And so it's going to open up here at the Carpenter Pass. The Great Caillou Wall is a work of wonder. See, you've seen engineering feats. You've seen some Caillou work before, but this would be hundreds of years of work. It's even under work right now. It's constantly being redone. Traps are being added to the wall. It's being expanded, rebuilt in sections. This wall is easily 100 feet tall. The towers themselves are 200-300 feet tall off the ground. Like, these are skyscrapers for towers. Like, this wall, you can't even imagine seeing anything like it in Rukagon. Now, Rukagon tends to have very large structures inside of it, but to see a wall that spans the entire southern border of Rukagon that is uniformly built this way is quite amazing for a engineering-minded person as yourself. For the rest of you, it is generally a very amazing thing too, but you kind of lack the engineering skill to really get the full appreciation for the work that has gone into it.
We get it. You're a hipster.
Mhm.
We don't. We won't. We'll never understand. Fucking art snub.
Through the Caillou Pass, or through the Carpenter Pass, rather, you guys will see that it's designed to be very similar to the way that that gated channels work in a water channel. You basically go through a section of gates, and you can see that there are extra gates that can be closed and shut off should anything charge through this pass, and it basically becomes Murder Alley. There are scorpion turrets up on the walls that are just pointing down vats of boiling oil that are up there and things like that. It's, for an example of like real world, the canal in
The Panama Canal.
not the Panama Canal, but the canal in wow, what is it? I've passed through it.
Erie.
No, it's in Egypt. Egypt technically
The
owns it.
Nile Canal.
Yeah, well, it's got a
This is the
Blue
canal
Ocean.
that separates, that literally separates Africa from
yeah,
Asia.
The Suez.
the
Right.
Suez. It's kind of like the Suez. If you guys yourselves may not be necessarily familiar with it, but essentially it is militarized, and there are people driving like Humvees 100 miles an hour down the coast on each side. Like, that's the kind of nonsense that you guys get. There are armed crabs just patrolling around, siege tanks, there are siege engines that have been perched up there. It's almost oppressively militant through this pass.
For anybody that would like further reading, there's a link you can click and look at some diagrams of the wall and some other stuff.
Oh, you went ahead and put one in the chat. Cool.
Toshiro will be like, it's good to be home.
Yeah, and as you go through the pass, you're going to notice that you're actually dipping down. The Shadowlands themselves are about 30 feet below where Rikugan is.
So, have you guys ever seen the River of the Last Stand?
Nope.
It'd be beautiful if it wasn't deadly.
Those are not necessarily mutually exclusive.
Beautiful
Is
things
that
can
a
be deadly,
reference to
man.
Shadowlands?
Isn't that what razors are?
That's what women are. Bazinga.
I hate that fucking show.
I am going to agree with this.
I don't even watch it. That's all I know about it, is the fact that he tells terrible jokes and then adds Bazinga to the end.
You are reinforcing the stereotype that is that show by saying the word.
Yep.
He's doing it just to mess with me because he knows it. Like when he says, I have 8.
But no, that's how I say it. It has nothing to do with messing with you. So, yeah, you guys travel through the pass and you descend into the Shadowlands. As you come out of the Carpenter Pass, there is a dark river that kind of acts as a natural barrier. That's been trenched out and is deeper than it really normally would be. There are some Hermor scouts that have provided a flotilla bridge for you to cross this river, but you know that as soon as you cross, it's going to be broken down until you can prove that you're not tainted.
All right. Are you gentlemen ready?
Ready as we'll ever
Matter.
be.
I don't know how to be any more ready.
Just one last time. Everybody's jingle, jingle, jingle.
Oh, that. I show it.
Okay. Well then, I will bow to the heated scout, and I will say, after you all.
Okay. So the Hermor scouts assemble the bridge.
Excuse me.
They assemble the flotilla bridge, and it takes about 10 minutes to get the whole thing together. but they allow you to take your oxen across and your cart. As soon as you make it to the beach side, they give you a traditional Rukagani salute, and they immediately start breaking it down and pulling the pieces back over to the Rukagan side of the river. You can see the castle from where you're at. Actually, as soon as you hit that coastline, it's not very far away, but you've been told that there's something that has taken up residence there, that it's quite possibly an Oni that's living inside there now.
Well, my master, my sensei, did fight an Oni when he was a little younger than, or a little older than me. I guess to be a true pupil, we must destroy one before I am his age as well.
I feel like I ought to say something about, just you're looking for a fight.
I mean, isn't that what you always do, Tenshu?
Yeah, but that's me. You should know better.
Yeah. That would seem oddly self-serving. Well, Kaji, do you want to lead the way, or do you want me to lead the way?
Normally, I would say that you should take point in your lands, but I would never dream of referring to this as your lands. So I believe
I appreciate that you make that distinction.
So I believe I shall take point.
I'll be behind you.
I will take a rear.
We must all be ever vigilant.
Aren't I always?
No.
Well, I'm glad someone realized.
Murdoch, your mic's pretty close. We can hear you breathing.
How about now?
Honestly, I thought that was Brendan again.
The fan.
Yeah.
I'm a Brendan's fan, so.
No need for a fan.
I'm just saying it sounded exactly like that.
How about now?
It's fine now.
You good?
Okay. So, yeah, you guys begin your journey across, and what I'm gonna need is you guys can do a notice check.
Okay.
This will be just kind of a general, you guys keeping watch as you travel kind of thing.
What does the notice go off of again? It's been a while.
Awareness.
Well, that was terrible. I got a 9.
Awareness.
Taking point, see nothing.
Awareness.
Isn't that how the world works?
14.
Don't worry, I didn't do much better than you. 12.
That really makes me worry. It's like the only thing that would make me worry.
What is notice based off of? Because I'm defaulting.
It's awareness.
Awareness.
Does defaulting mean I roll one less dice?
Yes.
5.
Okay.
We're getting ambushed.
Actually, Chris, I meant to ask you, in cases of notice... Nah, I don't think it would work. I was going to ask if case notice does hunting work, but I don't think it does.
No, unless you wanted to scout ahead for your group. I could say that would be covered under hunting.
All right. I just wanted to get that clarified.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So now that I've got your guys' numbers, that's perfect. You guys will begin kind of traveling through the Shadowlands, and there's a distinct feeling that you get in the Shadowlands, like something is always kind of lurking just on the edge of your vision. The Jade is kind of helping keep your mind straight, but you get the feeling that without the Jade there, that the land itself would play tricks on you, that you would fall prone to this nagging idea that somebody is following you, looking around for them constantly. You're able to kind of shake it off and be like, no, there's nobody there, because you've looked around and you know for a fact that there's nobody there.
Well, I mean, no, we suck at looking at things.
Except for the 50 ninjas that Kikita thinks is out there.
What are you... 50 ninjas has got to be at least 100.
Well, there's 50 items that he can see inside the world around him, so
Oh,
that tree
50.
is definitely 2 ninjas stacked up on each other.
50 is just what you can see. Doesn't.
Those are the bad ones.
It's not the 50 ninjas they have to worry about. It's the 51st ninja that you can't see. That's the one that's going to get you.
So the journey itself, are you guys going to try and push to try and get this done a little bit faster, or are you going to go at a decent pace?
If our minds are already being tricked, even slightly, I say we push.
I'm all for pushing.
Yeah, if for nothing else, I don't want to get caught here for the winter. That would be very, very bad.
No.
Yeah, so you guys continue to push on, and as you start getting closer to the castle, you can hear what sounds to be drums beating, kind of resonating, and it's not just through the air. Like, you can feel the pulses of the beat through the ground as you walk.
That's not ominous.
I have a bad feeling about this.
The sound of taco drums fill and resonate.
Tacos.
They are coming.
I believe we should hurry up.
Yes. Move away from the drums if possible.
The drums
I don't think-
themselves are coming from the castle, so there's not really any moving away from them unless you're just not going to go to the castle.
Oh.
I mean, we could just walk straight to the colonies.
Theoretically, it is possible.
I don't think that'd be a wise course of action.
No one's ever lived to do it, but it is possible.
Will that take less than a month, or else we'll need to find eatable food in the Shadowlands.
Even if we have enough food, if we don't have enough jade.
Yeah.
So,
But we don't.
that is something that Kakita will know. There is no such thing as edible food in the Shadowlands.
Wouldn't
I
most
have
people think that way
Steph
anyways?
aggro at the moment. Give me a moment.
I mean, Chris, wouldn't most people think that the Shadowlands are pretty much barren?
No, there's stuff to eat out there, but you really shouldn't. It's willingly eating tainted food if you do so.
The same thing as being barren, then.
Yes, in a sense.
All right. So, I guess approach the castle stealthily? Is that an option?
Yeah. So you begin kind of going towards the castle. If you would like to do stealth, that itself would be its own roll. Keep in mind that is a low skill. You guys are amongst friends. If you choose to not talk about this, there won't be any honor hits, but if somebody goes and brags about how stealthy and awesome you are, that means you will take honor hits, just to let you know.
Tom, I'll give you a warning. I will say something. That's my only warning.
Interesting. Miramoto will just kind of look at you. There's a silent conversation about this, and it just turns back with a
You can go quietly, but face them like the warrior that you are. Murdoch, just you're muted if you're speaking.
I am back. I apologize.
It's okay.
Right now, Kaji has. He's talking to Steph now.
The castle itself, so you guys are aware, it is kind of an older style of Rikigani castle, where it has rough-hewn bricks at the bottom and then smoothed out actual manufactured bricks above that base level. It is kind of almost sloped downward on the walls. It would actually be fairly advantageous if you were to throw a grapple over the edge because of the way the walls are shaped. It's like kind of a pyramid almost, kind of not that drastic, but slightly sloped. That would be beneficial to climbing.
Can I make a knowledge check for the architecture? If I'm familiar with it, maybe I might know a good way to get in.
Sure.
I apologize. I am back again.
Alright.
Going for the
Kaji
next
has
minute.
what?
And that is a 23.
Stop, Gordon.
Breathing again.
Sorry.
Okay. What was that, Brennan?
23
23.
for my knowledge of the type of architecture.
Yeah. The type of castle that it is, being an older style castle, it actually has a drawbridge, which has gone quite out of style in Rikugani castles. But the drawbridge essentially normally is lowered, and it would form kind of a ramp to get you past the rough-hewn portion, which is about 10 feet off the ground. As far as any sort of like non-conventional ways to go in through like grappling hooks or siege techniques, the castle itself, the shape actually does not lend it very well to any sort of siege weapons. So like ladders, climbing equipment, grappling hooks, all that stuff would actually prove to be useful in the situation. You guys do have some climbing gear that has been packed for you, but you don't have like siege ladders and stuff like that.
Do we have a good vantage point from where we are? Or can we just see
you
straight
haven't
on?
gotten exceptionally close just yet. You're still about 250 feet away. You can see the castle itself and make out these details. It's close enough to fire an arrow, but not close enough to like run at the walls unless you want to take a little bit of time to do so.
Well,
Miyamoto-san, do you know what part of the city you need to look in?
I'm afraid not. The vision granted to myself and Toshiro by the spirit just seemed to imply that it was inside somewhere. Unless Toshiro was able to divine the spirit's meaning better than I was.
No, and I would hesitate to even attempt to commune with the mirror.
Wise choice.
The spirits did let you know that it's actually in the castle portion of this castle city.
that
But
definitely
where
helps.
exactly in that, you're not entirely certain. As far as like if it's in like a lower level or an upper level of that house.
Yeah.
From here, can I see what part of the city the castle is in? Is it the part we're heading towards, or are we going to have to go around the city?
The way that this one is set up, the castle residence would actually be in the center of the city, and it is slightly raised above the rest of the city.
And is there anywhere, like what, like with the terrain, is there a way to get up higher to actually see down into the city, or is it kind of flat?
No, the Shadowlands are actually very flat. Had this land been fertile, like before Fulang fell from the sky into it, this was probably actually quite a nice area to be able to farm and grow things because of how clean and flat the land would have been.
Okay, well, it should prove much easier for us to use our climbing gear to enter the city from the escarpments, but otherwise the only way in is the drawbridge, the front door.
If there were creatures living here, would they be the type to actually watch the front door?
Well, I'm not familiar with the creatures.
Turn to Toshiro.
You're asking me to dissect the security habits of the Shadowlands.
Yes.
I just want to make sure that that's what we're talking about before I start thinking about it.
Yes.
Okay. Let me think about it.
I'd say if they're intelligent enough to bang drums, they might be intelligent enough to know what an entrance is.
24, Chris.
Okay.
Are the Shadowlands creatures going to post cards?
Um,
Knowledge Shadowlands 24.
it's not uncommon, actually.
Okay.
A good deal of because the Shadowlands is so harsh. Those that survive there tend to have very similar tactics to Rukagani citizens as far as like keeping guard and maintaining cities and things like that. Even goblins, which are considered to be quite pitiful creatures, have guards in cities.
Okay. So then I will turn to Kaji and be like, my pondering has answered me.
Has it?
It has.
And the answer is...
Oh, I was unaware that you wanted an answer. Yes, they should probably have guards.
Okay, over the walls it is.
That would not be wise.
Why not?
Have you ever climbed over a castle's walls?
Yes.
It should actually be quite easy with the style of this castle. And C will go through the trouble of explaining to you how it's constructed where the ground slopes up and then you can get over the wall relatively easily.
Didn't I just tell you that they keep guards and stuff?
Well, not along every portion of the wall, I would hope. How else would you like to get
do
in?
that in Rukagon?
Generally.
Then you can assume they probably do that here.
The crab do. The rest of Rukagon, it's not like 100% of the wall has somebody maintained like every 10 feet. Like
I
the
was
crab.
say lion generally are pretty good on that too.
Lion are probably the second most strict clan.
Yeah.
Think about what they have to keep out in here. If this Oni owns this castle, that's great. But creatures out here war with each other as much as they do Rukagon.
So they'd probably be just about as vigilant as the crab would, or even more so.
I don't know how you want to go about it. All I'm telling you is with this style of city building, unless there's some sort of secret entrance, the only way we're getting in is through the drawbridge or over the walls.
If need be, I could
the
go
crab,
ahead and
Chris?
go ahead.
Say that again.
Lord Crab, Chris?
What about
First-
more crab?
For Lore Crab.
Oh, lore crab.
Shadowlands, going for a raise to see if this castle has a secret entrance. Or to see if I know where its secret entrance or exit would be.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have 1, 17, 24, and 17, 24, 32, and that was again with one raise.
Okay. All crab castles tend to have escape routes built into them, just in case the worst was to happen. This castle, however, is of a much older design. There had to be one that would have been created after the fact, because this castle in its original design was never thought to be able to be taken. But it has passed back and forth, so you know that the crab that came back in, there's probably a section of newer construction that you'd be able to identify as different from the normal construction of this place that would stand out as that's probably where the secret passage is.
Okay. I'll tell Tsubasa, or I will tell all of you, in fact, there's probably a secret passage we can exploit. Though I'm not as good with architecture, it would seem like newer construction compared to what the rest of it looks generally like.
I was going to suggest, I may not be good with architecture, but if you'd like, I can scout ahead and see if I can find anything.
We should not split up.
I didn't think it was the best idea in the first place, but I didn't want to risk everybody just to search.
Go ahead.
Your valor is noted, but I agree with Toshiro. If we go together.
Can I see the new portion that Toshiro pointed out?
Go ahead and make an awareness check.
13.
Okay. With a 13, you kind of look over the castle itself, and you aren't able to determine where it would be from the location you're at. You're going to have to get closer before you can make anything out.
Is it the castle, or is there a portion of the city that extends up to the wall that's supposed to be new?
Well, it's a castle city, so there is
Oh,
walls
well,
around the whole
okay.
thing. But the castle manor itself, you can't see from the outside.
Okay.
You would just know that it's probably in the center because of the way that the style of construction that was used.
Well, if we can get closer without being seen, I might be able to figure something out with it. I can't quite see it from here.
I don't have any spell to make us invisible.
Well, then I guess you guys have no choice to just go there. I mean, either that or it's through the gate or over the walls, and either of those seem very appealing.
I'd
I mean-
rather save going over the wall or going through the gate as an escape route if it comes down to it.
Hmm.
I think we should, truthfully, I think we should leave. Where we are, not, like, leave here.
Oh. Hmm.
You're suggesting to move spots while we continue discussing.
Yes.
Okay, then.
That is why the scouts live so long in these areas.
Alright. We'll shift position somewhere.
If we shift position, we should see if we can circle the castle.
Exactly.
Maybe we can get a different vantage point and see something that we didn't see from one side.
Okay.
As we go along, can I make an engineering check to try to reason it out, what the new part is, and so forth?
Yes, but to do an engineering check, you're going to have to get a lot closer to the building. Like,
Okay.
you're pretty much going to have to be at the walls for an engineering check.
Okay.
It would be more practical to do notice checks and try and circle the building first, and then if you can't find anything, then moving closer.
Okay.
Okay. So are you guys going to try and maintain the 250 feet of distance that you are from the castle right now, or are you going to start moving a little closer?
Going to try to skip the... stay with our distance, I would think.
Yeah.
If we can see enough of the castle from this distance, why give them the benefit of the doubt and move closer?
Okay.
Staying at this range is best.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys kind of start circling the castle, and you can take a look at the place, and you can feel the tremors of the drums, and it seems like the longer you stay here, the more the drums kind of seep into yourself. Like, you can feel your heart beating with the beat of these talkie drums, and the pace itself is keeping rather rhythmically at the same point. It doesn't speed up, it doesn't slow down. It would take if it was a living drummer, it would take an immense amount of endurance to be able to play as long as it's been playing.
Hmm. All right.
You guys may again make an awareness check. Your target number, by the way, is 20.
Big money.
I should probably.
It's quite hard to have someone aid you on a roll.
Not an
13.
awareness.
Okay.
All right.
Or not in a notice check.
14.
Okay.
24. Fuck
Okay.
yeah, one die.
So, Matsu, you kind of take in everything that you've heard, and you're looking around, and you can see these bricks that seem to be just a little bit differently colored. It's the same design. It's actually quite clever, and it like as with all the information that they've taken in, your tactical brain kicks in. And you're like, okay, this seems like where I would put the exit too. It's Rukagani facing side, and the bricks themselves, like it is just a tiny fraction of a bit of color difference inside them. They were designed to look like the old style of bricks.
After I noticed, I'm like, now I'm not I'm not good with the architecture and such, but does anybody else notice how slightly off the coloration of those bricks are compared to the rest of the bricks? Or am I just seeing things?
After a few seconds of looking at what he's pointing out, you guys can see it now that there is a visual difference, and it's only like a section of about 5 feet of bricks that's differently colored.
Huh.
Yes, I do.
I think that's
Yeah.
our entrance.
Well, at least someone has good eyes. Just sad it was me.
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
No offense, of course.
I understand my shortcomings. It was never my strongest suit.
I have more of a attention to detail than a general awareness. If we can get close to there, I think I might be able to find the way in.
Now the goal is to get closer without being noticed. Because we have Oxen with us, we have all 4 of us. Chris, can I roll a battle check to see if I can think of a good way? I figure because honestly, I just don't know.
Yeah,
Really
you
off the top of my
can
head.
you can do battle check. It would be like basically you're tapping into your knowledge of like how to siege a city,
Yeah,
and what would be the best way to go in, and how to approach without detection, things like that.
that is the goal I'm going for. Yes. $33.
Okay. So you're looking out there and you kind of rack your brain for a minute thinking about the tactical lore that you've learned in your school, and you're reminded of the Sun Shi maneuver. The Sun Shi maneuver is specifically a maneuver that scouts of the Unicorn clan have used, where they will abandon their mounts and they will use the terrain to their advantage, kind of fanning out and zigzagging between different terrain objects to keep cover. It has been known to be quite effective, but it cannot be done in groups larger than 5.
All right. Okay. So I think I might have come up with a way to get in. So to do so, we're gonna have to at
Also,
least.
the Sun Shi maneuver, one of the things that you've found a flaw in, is normally it is done at night. Here in the Shadowlands, it would actually be better to do it during the day, because the Shadowlands at night is a bad thing.
It's currently the day right now, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I figured. Because otherwise, I believe you would have said so. Otherwise, because I figured night was worse. So I think I've at least I have at least an idea of how we can get in. Though
How's that?
we might have to, if you follow the idea, we're gonna have to at least for now abandon the Oxen. We can't get in there with them. They're too big. They're too slow. They're too noticeable. My idea is this, and I'll point out to different things along the way.
You realize that if we don't take the oxen, we kill them. And we carry the gear on our back.
I am telling you just a way that can be done. I will leave it up. I'm not the one to lead this group. I'm just.
You have enough experience to know that oxen in a bad enough situation, if there are not samurai there to guide them, they will just simply try to get back to Rubicon on their own. as animals, they're pretty tied to the idea of like the spirit realms and things like that. So when they sense danger, they try to avoid it unless they're told not to.
That's what I know.
Hmm.
I mean,
But if
we
you
just
leave your stuff tied to the oxen, your stuff might be gone when you come back.
Hmm.
Like I said, I'm just throwing out an idea. I'll tell you about the fanning maneuver and how we could, while it's still daytime, the best time to actually do this against Shadowlands creatures, we could go, try our best to move forward as fast as possible, going back and forth different hiding spots, and then eventually make it to the door.
How much do our supplies weigh?
Another thing that you could do is use the Sunshine maneuver to enter the city and then drop the drawbridge from there, bringing the oxen in and then stabling them inside the city so that if they do run around, they just run around on the walls of the city.
except that there's probably Oni there.
Hmm.
It is a possibility.
Idea has been thrown out.
How much do our supplies weigh? I'm guessing it's probably too much for us to carry.
Enough to
You have
probably
about a
slow us
month's
down.
worth of food for all of you, which is too much to carry. You have a month's worth of jade, which actually could be carried quite easily by dividing it amongst all of you. You were given 10 spears and your normal gear.
Hmm. Uh, I mean, I'm for it.
Which part?
The maneuver he suggested. I mean, at the very least, we could carry the jade. That's probably a decent idea.
Food will still be a huge problem,
How long did it take us to get here,
Chris.
Chris?
It only took a day. Well, half of a day because it's still daylight right now. Nighttime will be approaching, though.
Took us 1 day to get to this castle.
Mm-hmm.
Then they gave us a month worth of food.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty standard for any sort of.
Didn't you say it would take 2 weeks to get here or 2 weeks to get there and get back?
They're expecting you to be gone for 2 weeks in total.
They're
So they
expecting
gave you double food.
they're expecting the endeavor to take not more than a more than
The
a
crowd
long
have
time.
learned to expect complications when it
Yeah.
comes to journeying in the Shadowlands. You guys had a relatively complicated free journey there.
So, if we get lucky enough to be able to stable the oxen on the inside, we can take our time on the inside.
All right. So it sounds to me like we found the door. I'm sorry, I was dealing with stuff.
It's okay.
Stuff, so
It's okay.
Okay, we found. Okay, I'll just go over it.
Hold
Murdoch,
on, let me just tell you what I've got, and then someone
Go
can
ahead.
fill in the details. We traveled to the Shadowlands. We made it here in a day. We have oxen, a cart with supplies. I got that much.
Mm-hmm.
We were gonna climb over the wall. I said that's probably a bad idea because of guards. Tsubasa thought it could be done relatively easy. I said, no, there's probably a door. We should look for it. The Matsu found the door, and now he's suggesting a maneuver to get us close enough to get in the door.
Without being noticed by guards that might or might not be there.
Mm-hmm.
That's
We
what's
still-
going on right now, right?
As of right
Yes.
now, for the most part, yeah.
Okay. So, and we're talking about what we want to do with the oxen.
Yeah,
Well-
the original point was leaving the oxen behind and simply going into the castle. And then I mentioned that you could actually use the Sunshine maneuver to try to get into the castle, drop the drawbridge, and then bring the animals in.
I believe we should bring the animals in.
I agree with that, actually.
If we are able to destroy the foul master of this castle, we could, in theory, send Hida down here for the winter to hold it. Or Himura down here for the winter to try to hold it.
Hmm.
Well, at the very least, once we get into the city, we'll be able to appraise our situation better.
But the goal is,
For now, we should try to hide this.
you said hide this
The cart.
card. Okay. So I'm trying to get what you were going with. Okay. For the most part, I agree. unless because it doesn't seem like splitting up is a good idea in any case, as been mentioned. So if we do get to the door and we get in, our first goal should be to get to the doors, and if there is resistance, at least clear enough room for the oxen to get inside. Does that sound about right, guys?
I look over at Tsubasa. Are you able to use that, not just craft them?
As in, can you operate the door? Can you operate the gate, the lift gate?
I should be able to figure it out. Or, yep, that's what I thought he was going for, too. And Tsubasa will look insulted.
No, I was actually...
Yeah.
Jeremy was exactly right.
Okay. Yeah, you were very vague, though, and Tsubasa will look
hold on.
insulted
To
at
be
this.
fair, I was vague on purpose.
I know. I'm just letting you know, Tsubasa will actually start a little bit and look very insulted.
That's why the Matsu actually fully explains it. Hey, I
Yeah.
did that fully in character, Murdoch.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that either. Yeah. Are you referring to the door or my ability with my blade?
I would never question a samurai's ability with his blade.
I should be able to figure out the workings of the door once we're inside.
Perfect.
Then smoke bomb.
Nobody has smoke bombs.
No, it was instead of pop smoke cut strings like the airborne say, just smoke bomb. Let's go.
We could just
He
say
was
go
testing you.
Ducks.
Maybe a ninja would have overheard and accidentally dropped one.
I swear to God, next time you say smoke bomb,
Said smoke bomb.
ninja out of nowhere, Chris is like, "Fuck it, we're going with this."
So, you guys begin setting up. You find a place that you can secure the oxen. You find like a dead tree and some rocks that'll provide some cover for the oxen that you can tie them to.
They should be good for a little bit, though. We should try to endeavor to do this before nighttime.
Agreed.
I fear they would not survive it.
Agreed.
Sorry, Chris. I felt like that needed to be said.
No, it's fine. Yeah, Kakita, you would know for a fact that if goblins happen to come by and see these oxen tied up, they'll just straight slaughter them and eat them things.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
Hey, man, that's called a well-placed meal.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys start doing the Sunshi maneuver and dodging between different rocks and trees and things like that are out there. And Matsu, it was your tactical check earlier, so there's something that feels weird about doing the maneuver. Like, you would have expected to see guards along the outside of the castle as well. And as you're getting closer, you don't really see any along the outside. You haven't seen any on the ramparts.
Have I
It
seen
just seems
any
to be
at all?
empty.
Nothing?
No.
All right.
You're able to make it over to the wall and the section of false wall to lead to the passage in.
So
you guys have all secured yourselves there.
when we all get there, I will say something. I will say, "Isn't Mia? Did that seem too easy?" And did anybody else see any guards?
No.
Or did I? Toshiro, did you see any? I'm not sure whether that is a good or a bad thing.
The one thing that really stands out in your mind is as you've gotten closer to the castle, the drums have seeped in even more, and you can feel them pulsing with your own heartbeat now.
I trust your judgment, Matsu-san.
Just, I don't think I need to say this, but please be on your lookout. This is not what I'm used to when fighting an enemy. The Shadowlands are beyond my my knowledge. Please, Tsubasa, if you will, and I'll point at the, and I'll gesture toward the door.
We haven't found it yet, Murdoch.
So, no, you found it.
Yeah, no, it was the section that we noticed.
Kikita kind of, without word, just immediately goes over the wall and starts running his hand along this wall to find the brick to move to open it. You find the loose brick and you give it the pull, and it slides away, and there's an inscription written across an actual wall.
What does the inscription say?
The inscription itself is a prayer. A Shugenja would be needed to get past this doorway.
Well, lucky enough we happen to have one.
Is that what it says?
No. What it says is it's a prayer, but I need you to do a spellcraft to figure out what kind of prayer it is.
Oh, okay.
He's saying only a Shugenja could figure out this puzzle.
Only a Shugenja has the ability to get you past that wall, essentially.
Yes.
30.
Okay. As you go over the words here, you start to recognize the pattern of the way that the words of this prayer is spelled out. It's a void spell. It is a teleportation spell, essentially. Actually, I shouldn't say teleportation. It's more like a dimensional walk spell. To get past this wall, what's going to end up happening is you will cast a spell that will pass you through the Gekido, where ghosts reside, and you will have to find your way to the other side. It has very explicit directions that you are to go straight and not interact with anything that you see or experience while you are there.
Is this a spell that I can learn to use in the future?
Yes, this would be one.
Okay. I'll
It will go through a wall, but there is always risk of you becoming lost in the Gekido if you fail.
Yeah. Do I have to touch the others?
Yes, they will have to maintain contact with you during the passage.
Okay.
Should they lose contact with you, they will be lost as well.
I tell everybody to put their hands on my back and do not lose contact with me, or you will die immediately.
Okay.
I will, put my hand on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Toshiro turns around to everybody as everybody kind of put their hand on him, and he says, "If we die anyway, know that I'm truly sorry, that this is completely new magics to me."
Don't worry, everything is a risk.
He says the prayer.
Okay. It is a rank 3 spell, actually.
We're dead.
It's a custom spell for my campaign. It does not exist in the books. It is called Ghost Door.
Yay, dim door.
So go ahead
rank
and
3
roll your
void?
cast. Yeah, it is a rank 3 void.
Okay.
It is something that you could learn once you gain the ability to really learn void spells.
Once I take the advantage.
Yeah, if you take Ishindo.
Okay. So I need to. Do I need to make a casting roll during with the thing?
Yep. The target number is 20 for the spell cast. It's going to be your school rank plus the spell's element, which is void.
Keep school rank, right?
Yep.
Or is it keep? No, it doesn't matter. They're both the same.
Because you are using a void spell and you're not a void caster, it is going to use up a void point as well.
Yep. $27.
Okay. 27. That is enough to get the raise that you needed to be able to get them through safely as well. Because if not, I was going to have to pick one of you to randomly die in the Gekido.
Oh dear.
That
Don't worry.
says Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm about to say, don't worry about it. I'll just take one for the team.
Yes, my sister's no longer married to that meathead.
So you guys break into the Gekido, and this is a unique experience. It is. What's that?
Your camera has gone all Hong Kong Phooey again.
Not to me.
Okay, maybe it's just me then.
It is always you.
Sometimes when the camera shifts, it doesn't do the resolution correctly right away.
Okay.
But so you guys shift into the Gekido, which is kind of a new experience. As you step through, it's kind of like a windswept world where there's like breeze coming from all sorts of directions at once, and there's like this it's like what a painting of the world of ghosts would be. Like there's what seems to be like these streams of consciousness that flow into objects, and you see ghosts of people passing through the wall. And you keep walking forward, and you can see that there's another door, another ghost door on the other side. You go up to it, and you repeat the incantation one more time, and it opens up. And you step out, and then you immediately step into the real world, and you can feel the warmth of your body fill you again. It suddenly occurs to you that during this spell, it is almost like you died. Like the Gekido was actually welcoming you in, and you managed to just kind of barely escape the bounds of death there.
Man,
out.
I've
You guys
never
can stop trembling now.
never have I felt so happy to be in the Shadowlands.
That was enlightening.
That's one way to put it.
It's just the Gekido. You can calm down now.
Mm.
It's like you've never been to the realm of ghosts or something.
I mean, I think I've sent people there, but personally, no, I don't think I've ever been there before today.
Oh, well, now you have.
Let's go over the wall on the way back. Well, let's get that drawbridge open.
I'm going to stick with the drawbridge.
The city itself is kind of in ruins. The buildings, for the most part, are kind of look like they've been damaged through battles, countless battles. They've been kind of rebuilt, but you can see that they've just been torn down just as quickly as they've been rebuilt. There's rotting wood structures inside there. As you kind of scan through what you can see the city, you can see the raised castle residence inside the center of the city like you expected it to be. And that seems to be where the drums are coming from. The drums now are so loud that you guys have to speak up to hear each other.
Toshiro, stop speaking for the record.
You guys are able to see see a stable that you could secure the oxen at, and how to get the bridge down. You just have to kind of go around to the side where it is, and then let down the bridge. It's got a crank, so you'll have to actually turn that to bring the drawbridge back up when you're done, if you want it back up.
All right. Let's check out the drawbridge and stables. So, see if it's safe enough to bring in the oxen.
We
Agreed.
should probably clear the courtyard first.
I figured we'd do that on the way.
And then leave something behind us.
On the way to the stables. I didn't think it needed to be said. Sorry. Let's clear out the courtyard.
Okay. You go into the courtyard, you find nothing. It is clear. There's no tall tale signs of Oni.
Now,
No goblins camped out like you'd expect.
now tell me this. Can I I don't know if you want me to roll for this, but is there any signs of if there being any recent Oni or goblins? Just not right now.
Sure. I'll even say that you could use tactics if you want, like how you would move an army through here. Because you were told that he has an army.
I can roll battle for that if you'd like.
That's fine. That's what I meant, not tactics battle.
Yeah, I'm like, if I'm correct, tactics is one of the emphasis, but I don't have that.
It is. The tactics emphasis would actually work, but yes.
Yeah, I don't have it.
It's going to be a target number of 15.
Well, I'm going to make it, since I'm already at like... I'm at 30.
Okay, perfect. So, it looks like there's been a creature that has come through here, but you don't see any markings that an army has been through here.
Then how about this?
The creature that you can see that has been through here has very humanoid-like feet. You found some footprints. They are quite a bit larger, though. Each foot is roughly the size of a human forearm. So using that as kind of judging it, you'd figure him to be somewhere between 12 and 15 feet tall.
Now, can I tell how recently he's been here?
No, the weather and stuff you wouldn't be able to know for sure.
Can I roll hunting for that?
Yes. The emphasis would be tracking.
Yes, this is what I'm here for, man. I know I designed myself very well. 27?
Okay. So you all see Matsu going around and putting his fingers and footprints in the mud, picking it up, kind of rubbing it in his fingers, sniffing at stuff, taking a look at some broken branches and things. You get the idea that he probably passed through here within the last probably week or so, because there's not a whole lot of scent and things like that for you to pick up on, but there's definitely clear signs that he's been through.
Okay. I was hoping for a little bit sooner, but because that doesn't help. All right.
It doesn't look like he's moved around a lot. Like he walked in with purpose, went to the castle, and has not come back.
So there's no sign of him leaving at all.
You don't see footprints of him leaving the castle residence, no.
Okay. It seems there's not been much traffic through here, except for one being. Large creature, humanoid, my guess, an Oni. But since we were warned about there being maybe one. The good thing is, he's still here. The bad thing is, he's still here.
Why is that bad?
I've never fought an Oni before. I'm not really used to it.
We get to do the Empire a favor and destroy another.
Oh, that's a good thing, sure. I've just, I take things in stride,
No. Let us get the oxen in and then pursue this beast with
speed.
Expediency.
There we go.
All right.
You guys are able to unlatch the gate and drop it down. The chain kind of rattles through, and it's another constant reminder that those drums are there, because like you can if like the person who's undone the chain can hear the chain rattle, but the people that are like just a few feet away can't hear the chain.
Does
The
anybody
drums are
question
just
where that's coming
overpowered.
from at this point?
You
Well,
believe it to be coming from
No,
the
that's in-game.
castle residence.
Yeah, no. Well, I was gonna say, every time we we got closer to the castle, it got louder. Once we got into the inside the castle, it got louder. I'm gonna say it's coming from the same being who been walking through here recently. But that's just an educated guess.
Your wisdom knows no bounds, Tenshu.
That's experience, not wisdom. I don't presume to know more than I do.
That would be intelligence, Tenshu. That is quite literally exactly how he responds, by the way.
I can just feel the love in this family.
So with all of you working on it, it takes about an hour to kind of wrangle in the oxen and get them into the stable in a situation that Kikita feels is safe enough for the animals.
Yeah. And then, we raise the drawbridge.
Because, if we already have to deal with one thing in here, we don't want to have to invite others.
Because you don't want it escaping.
That's it.
Yep.
Either or.
So, you guys are able to raise the drawbridge. See, there is actually a way that you can lock that drawbridge in place. There's a removable handle. If you take that drawbridge can't do anything.
It can't be raised again, you mean, after we put it down?
Not until that handle gets put back.
Okay. I'll share that information.
That's interesting. Take it out.
Mm-hmm. I'll do so.
Okay. So, you guys gather up the handle with you, and you begin kind of heading towards the castle residence. The evening is setting, and a chill kind of floats through the air.
I steal my resolve.
I wait for everybody to steady themselves, and then I say, "Are we going or what?"
I say, I look around and I was like, let's go then. Waiting is only gonna give me a worse headache.
Certainly not getting any rest while in the city.
Is anybody else going to kill that drummer, or is it just me?
We'll see if we find him first.
Well, we know what direction to go in.
Mm-hmm.
To the castle!
Okay. So you guys begin heading through the city. As you do, I will need an awareness check from you guys.
Oh, good. We're so great at that.
Yep. It's your basic
An
perception.
awareness or notice?
Notice, rather.
Well, it shouldn't be basic perception because there's a perception stat.
Perception is for actively perceiving. Awareness is for subconsciously perceiving. He's saying that unless you are telling him outright that you are trying to look out for stuff as we're going, you're rolling awareness.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. You have to actively tell Chris that you are looking out.
7.
Which, yeah. I rolled a 6.
Also 6.
15.
15. Tom, you will catch something moving just at the edge of your vision between the buildings.
Like,
Somewhere to the left.
interesting.
As soon as you start to notice it, you immediately shift your glance over there and it's gone.
There was something over there.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Let us make with nautical haste.
Yeah, in your guard. Something is following us.
Understood.
Okay.
Oh, it's an investigation check, not a notice check.
Yes, if you want to actively proceed.
No,
Yeah.
notice is an emphasis of investigation.
Yes, which is of awareness. Last time I checked.
No, which is perception.
Oh, my bad.
Which, may I re-roll now with that knowledge since I have ranks in that?
Go for it. You'll get the same answer that Tom got no matter how many raises you get. But yes.
Okay. Well, that doesn't matter now. But I just wanted to make, because I'm 5K3 to that.
That actually does matter to me because that means I roll
Likewise.
perception, which at least I have 3. So at least when I default to 2 dice, not 1.
Sorry, we've actually been doing a lot more RP lately, so I haven't even thought about the rolls for stats in a little while.
No, it's okay. I was just like, wow,
I feel sad that I don't know this because
I
investigation was
needed to
the
take
main.
ranks in this.
So, you guys kind of go through the city, and are you going like battle ready, like swords drawn, and actually moving with caution, or are you trying to quickly get to the castle residence?
I'm moving with my sword.
I
drawn.
follow the lead of the Bushi. If they
I'm 100% moving with my sword drawn, and I am moving with caution.
then
I don't
yes.
have a sword.
I am moving with my hands on my swords.
Then how about this? I will be taking lead.
That's fine. Like, more so, I am slightly concerned if things will notice once I draw the Crysteel sword.
This is okay with me being the only one drawn. I'll take care of things.
Okay. So, yeah, you pass through the city, and there's a couple more occurrences where you see something just at the edge of your vision, like running between buildings and things like that. You think you hear almost the sound of like grinding stones together. That's a little bit louder than even the drums are. You know for a fact that something's out there.
I would like to meditate.
Okay.
I'm telling this is in game.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you need? And must I ask exactly why?
Because I think the Shadowlands are playing tricks with our mind, and I think we need to refocus ourselves.
That's
Either Kaji or myself should be the one to do it. And if it proves fruitful, then we can take turns doing it while the rest of us wait.
I should let you know I'm never been one good at sitting around. Taking action was always my forte.
If you insist, I shall go first. I'm not entirely sure what the effects of meditating in this land will be, but if they are dire, I'd prefer that a Shugenjo be available to do something about it.
I understand. I will take my chair out and sit.
Okay.
Chris, before he does that, the location we were stopping in, how defensible is it?
It is a junction between a couple streets. You can see in all cardinal directions. Because this city is set up like very much like a crab city, so it's very grid and uniform, so you can see pretty much to the other wall at each side.
That's fine.
Okay.
I will make a meditate roll.
Okay. So Miyamoto, you kneel down and you begin to go into a meditative state. It is harder to meditate inside the Shadowlands, so your target number is going to be 20.
I cleared it by a considerable margin. Still rolling.
Well, you didn't call it raises, so...
Yeah.
So long as you beat it.
So
you begin to meditate, and this is an introspective meditation. So you kind of clear your mind, and the drums, you can't seem to shake them, even in your meditation. They've seemed to seeped completely into you and become part of you. Like it's through the meditation you've realized exactly how much of an effect these drums are doing to you. You can feel your heartbeat matching up with the drum beat of its drum beat. You can feel like twitches in your own muscle structure that feel like they're going along with that beat as well. Minute things that you would not have noticed before had you not cleared your mind of the other distractions of the Shadowland.
Interesting.
As you do so, let me do this real quick here. A grinding sound you'll hear a grinding sound come from the earth in front of Miyamoto, all of you, and a spear made of what appears to be some sort of bone structure comes shooting out of the ground into Miyamoto's face. Does an 18 beat your target number to be hit?
Nope.
Okay. Miyamoto, with lightning fast reflexes, instantly draws out his katana and just deflects the spear from his face from meditative stance.
Wake up, swords in hands, like, oh, what happened?
The spear clatters harmlessly against the ground, and it kind of fades away into nothing.
So, anyone see what caused that?
Came out of the ground.
I look at Toshiro.
That's
Why
his best.
do you me? It wasn't me.
Kaji will sigh. It's like, well, he'll hold the story out for a little while longer. It's like, I'm afraid my meditation did not yield much, other than the fact that this drum beat goes deeper than even I thought. My heart beats with it. My muscles twitch with it. It is distressing, to say the least. In my meditation, I could not shake it. And considering the unpleasantness, he says, kicking at the ground in front of him, I would recommend against the others meditating as well.
So, we continue on?
Indeed.
Sounds like a plan. Let's get going. If you're okay with that, Toshiro.
Yes.
Thank you.
I was
The
hoping that maybe we could find a way to deal with this, but apparently it seems the only way is to kill the problem.
It's that's always done me good in the past.
the air shifts, and you can feel that the sun has set completely. The Shadowlands is always kind of dark to begin with, so it's hard to tell when the sun is up and down. But you can tell by temperature almost as it shifts from day into night. And as that happens, the moon starts to rise, and you can clearly see it in the air. You can feel that the temperature itself drops below even what you would expect, even for this being a fall night with the chill that you've come to expect. You look around and you can hear movement, laughter. The drums fade back until they all of a sudden stop. It's eerily quiet for a second, and then you hear more children's laughter and a ball bounce. It causes all of you to stop for just a second to gain bearing on everything that's around you, and you can see two small children run down an alleyway after a bouncing ball. And it's only then that it reminds you, as you watch them run into a wall and disappear, that this is much like the Gekido, what you're seeing now.
I am not happy with this place.
Remind me to cast Purging the Taint when we decide where we're camping. Notwithstanding, we should carry on quickly because I'm not familiar with what could do this.
This is not what normally happens at night.
No! Nowhere is that normal.
We're in the Shadowlands. This is not a normal
Nowhere
place.
is that normal.
There are very few sites that have a strong connection to the Gekido. Usually there are sites of mass murder, large wars, and things like that. There have been times where Rikigani Shugenjas have been able to summon armies of ghosts to their side, the ancestral beneficial ghosts. But usually ghosts being in an area is not a good thing.
We must hasten our pace.
As if we
I
did not
have-
have a...
If we
Yes.
stay here too long, the Godeki,
Gekido.
Gekido might claim us as well this evening.
That's
Become lost.
As if we didn't
And if
need
you
more
think I'm-
motivation.
If you think I'm kidding, go ask those two little girls. I'm sure they'll be happy to point you in the right direction.
Could they be remembering our recent visit? Is that going to be a problem?
Could they be remembering our
That
recent...
we've been in
I,
Gekido?
I don't think he knows enough, he's saying. Let's
how much
get
do you
going.
know about? How much do you know about the Gekido?
Ghosts.
It's about as much as anybody else.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
there are
the person that
experts in the
brought us
field,
through
but
it.
even the experts in the field don't know a whole lot more than you do.
Okay.
As you walk through the city, you're gonna see more ghosts as you go through, and they seem to be the harmless kind that go about what would be normal everyday activities. They don't seem to even be aware that they're dead. This is the kind of harmless ghosts that you are more familiar with, as far as actually seeing. They're the more common ghosts.
Are they interactable?
They are not.
Thank
They will
God.
walk through you. They'll go through buildings. They don't seem to be bothered by you. They
Children
are all
remnants.
children.
Hmm.
They're all children.
All of them.
Outstanding. Let us continue.
It takes about an hour for you to kind of go through the city because there is parts of the city where buildings have just been crushed and you have to change streets to get back over to where you need to get to the castle residence. And as time passes, once you get to the hour mark, you kind of take a look around your surroundings because you've been very cautious and paying attention to the things around you, and you're going to notice that all the ghosts that you've come across that were children are now teenagers.
I don't want to wait another hour to see what happens.
So we continue faster.
They might
Well, preteens, but yeah. You can
end
definitely
up
see that they're
reliving a
aged.
battle soon enough that I don't want to be here to see.
Hmm.
Isn't that what these ghosts typically do?
You've never heard of them aging like this. Usually they'll stay whatever age they were when they died, and they'll continue to relive their last day on Earth. This is actually quite an unusual phenomenon that would be worth taking back to the Crablands just for educational purposes, if nothing else.
If we weren't in the middle of the Shadowlands, dealing with drum beats in our faces that are permeating our very soul, I would absolutely study this. But one problem at a time.
Hmm.
The castle residence has a staircase that leads up to it. It's about a 50-foot sheer staircase. It's very steep steps. It's very old-fashioned. A lot of temples in the Rukagana countryside are built this way. See, you know that if there were booby traps and things like that, this would not be the section for them. So this would probably be the safest area of the castles, the actual steps to get up to the residence.
Well, we'll be safe until we get to the top of those stairs.
Understood? Chris, in Rukagon, are you able to prep spells?
Yes. Essentially, what you would do is you would cast the spell and hold it. Basically, it's ready to be released, but if you lose concentration on it, you lose the spell.
Okay. I'm gonna precast Biting Steel.
Okay. Does a 32 hit you?
Yes?
Okay. You're going to hear the grinding sounds of what sounds to be stone rubbing against each other, and the bone spear will shoot out of the ground as you start to do your chant to hold your spell. It's going to hit you and disrupt your concentration. It's also going to do 12 points of damage.
How many?
12.
Oof. Still good.
Again, like last time, you're not able to see what exactly caused that spear to be thrown. But there is a connection that you've noticed between seeking spiritual points and using spiritual energies that seems to trigger and anger whatever this is.
Kaji,
Yes.
do you think you could meditate again?
Also need an earth save, by the way.
For me?
Yes, because this is a tainted attack.
Do I get bonus because of Jade?
Yes, you do, which I'll add afterward. Because it's a hard number.
Damn it. There it is. Sorry, I took down the roll 20.
You may want to keep it up for dice rolls.
Yeah. I'm having a problem with my internet, so I took it down.
Oh, okay. If you want to switch over to just voice, that's fine. That'll lower some bandwidth on this end.
15.
Okay, you will make it. You can feel kind of sharp, dull pain as the spear kind of shoots into your shoulder, and it just rips clean through.
Am I able to tell that it was trying to taint me, or should I just know?
Yeah, that's what that dull pain is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I will. As I kind of like hold my, the through and through, which by the way, if you have never seen one, is fucking gross. And I'll say,
You do like everybody who does on their first one and stick your finger in it and like, oh, that's not good.
No, I just cover it up and like my prayer beads go right to it. I'm like, oh, that really hurts, and it's trying to taint us. Oh,
Let me bandage that for you. Toshiro.
sure.
The spear, when it ejected itself from the backside of you, it went up just a couple feet behind you, and then it disappeared into shadow again.
So, I'm guessing those spears are somehow tied to us interacting with the void, or using...
As you wrap me, Toshiro's...
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Toshiro's going to take out a Jade Pearl tea petal, crush it up, and he's going to throw it in the salve that you're giving him.
Okay.
Oh, God. So you were saying?
So, those spears have come up whenever we've tried to interact with the void or
Not the void.
use magic. Well, when Miyamoto meditated.
The spirits.
It sounds like, yeah, whenever you connect, yeah.
Meditating is... sorry, I'm drawing a blank here. Is interacting with the void, is it not? It's
Not
clearing
necess-
your mind?
Not necessarily. I mean, it could involve the void, but it could be more of a simple personal introspection or things like that. Meditation's a bit more diverse and complicated. Regardless, I do think you're onto something.
Okay, I'm going to make a medicine roll with... I'll make it 2 raises.
So you had to. So he's sitting there going, so you had to question things before you bandaged the thing that went through my fucking shoulder?
But this is while he's working on it.
As you guys take the 10-15 minutes that it takes to patch it up, Kakita, you find yourself with your mind wandering as he's bandaging you there, like a champ. Jesus.
Oh my god.
Should have called some raises on that sucker.
I did. I called 2.
I meant more. Jeez.
Hey, man,
I can't.
you are getting bandaged.
Okay. Go ahead and do the healing bit, which you'll find underneath medicine.
6 hit points.
You can just say he got all the bandages.
Yeah, with a roll like that, you know how to actually pack it in the jade pearl tea petals so that it actually mixes into the salve. It's not just like leaf bits on there like what Kakita was doing for a minute there. You actually grind it in and make it correct. But Kakita, you go back to a time, your first time actually past the wall, remembering a story that Kunitaru told you. Kunitaru was a very eccentric teacher, which we've mentioned before. And you recall your first trip into the Shadowlands, he took you like it was a tour of a place that you should be familiar with. He would point out sights to you, and he would show you things, and he'd show you how to do certain things to get yourself in a more advantageous point. And you remember one particular story that your master told you, and it was on the way back that he was telling you that about ghosts and the Gekido, that the realm of the Gekido doesn't follow the Shadow Realm's rules and laws. They exist simultaneously but separate. But whenever they interact, it almost always means that there is something quite powerful in the Shadow Realm that's forcing it to happen. Your master's story resonates with you, and it suddenly becomes a little clearer to you what exactly is happening with these ghosts, because you can look around and you can see that these young teens that you saw before are rising into like middle teens now, even just by the minutes passing. But they seem to be more athletic, more toned and defined, like they're coming into adult bodies, warrior bodies.
Oh man, they're gonna become a ghost army.
It's exactly what you piece together as he's putting you together, and you know that anything that has the ability to control an army of ghosts could spell disaster for the crab, because they will go past the walls. They will just march across Rugagon until finally stopped. And the best way to stop it is to simply bring down the one that is dragging them in and confining their services.
Oh no. Toshiro's gonna say, all right, so we don't have time for a decision right now, but they're making a ghost army here. We need to either kill what's here. Essentially, when we all go to try to kill it, one of us has to escape should the worst happen. Who's it gonna be?
I personally say Tsubasa.
I would not wish to abandon you.
It's not that I wish for you to abandon the fight.
We don't have time for the discussion. Who's it gonna be? Who has the best chance of getting back?
I hate to say this, but probably me.
Then if you're all that's left, run, get back to the crab, and I will write a note as we go. By the way, we must now be running, for the record.
I'll say for the time being, let's just keep the enthusiasm about not having to worry about what happens if we don't make it.
A castle of this style will easily, well, a man of this style most likely be trapped.
Yeah, so let's run.
Let's go.
I will be very vigilant, Chris. I will actively search as we move.
I am also keeping my eye out. Yeah.
So you make it to the top of the staircase, and there's the garden gate there. When you open it, the gardens themselves are lush and full of life. This is the first bit of green that you've seen in all of the Shadowlands. The trees are fruiting. The house itself seems to be in good repair.
Oh, this can't be good. Go, go, go!
This worrying.
You
But
take note as you continue to kind of run through, and you smash through the front door. And as you break through the door, you can hear just real quick, da-da. The doors close behind you. In your state, you guys continue running. There's a couple directions that you want to go. Do you have anything in mind what direction you're heading or what you're looking for?
I look for a window.
For a window?
For
Okay.
a window.
There's absolutely a window that leads out to the garden.
I look at Matsu and I say, hey, Matsu, look out that window for me.
I quickly look.
I kick him out the window and say, run to the Crablands. Inform them and take this note. And I throw the note at him.
Okay. Matsu.
I will act stunned.
You go
I did not expect
out.
that.
You go out the window. The note is hurled after you, and you find yourself rolling into a room.
Do I still see the window?
You see a window behind you, but you're on the second story.
Oh, fucking.
I'll quickly look back out through the window,
It's the garden.
and there's no way we're not noticed by now.
Do I see him like hit the garden, or can I
No.
like look out?
No, you
No.
don't. As soon as he goes out the window, he disappears.
Son of a bitch.
Fuck.
Well, he's dead. Hurry up.
I'm gonna run. I'm not gonna leave the window. I'm gonna run through the. Is there a door in this room?
Yeah, there's a doorway. It leads into kind of an open area. What you're in is actually a bed chamber.
How lived in does a bedchamber look?
Not very lived in at all.
Okay,
It
that's
looks
good.
like it's presented as if a guest was to be expected.
So it looks fresh, as in like they
Mm-hmm.
expected a guest recently.
It's quite clean. There's a daisho rack on the wall, a place for your armor to go. A bedroll with fresh linens has been rolled out.
They were expecting you.
I'm gonna open up the door.
Okay. You see some more rooms and a staircase that leads down.
I'm gonna take caution when stepping out the door.
Okay. You step out the door. You're in the hallway.
Oh, good. I didn't get transported somewhere. I'm gonna check out each room.
Okay. You look. There are 6 rooms that are all presented for guests, and we're going to flash over to the other group. You saw
go to the
him go
bathroom.
out. You saw him go out the window, and as soon as he hit the window frame itself, like as soon as his front half started to go through there, his front half started disappearing. So you know that there's something totally wrong with that window.
Well, he's dead. Let's hurry up.
What are you looking for?
I guess I won't be. Is that in my head?
I'm asking, what are you looking for as the GM?
Oh, for the evil?
Yeah, you mentioned that you're going to run, but I need to know what direction and what you're looking for exactly that you're running to.
Where would the master of the house logically be?
Traditionally, they would be in the master's suite, which is usually on either the first floor or third floor, depending on how this house is set. Subasa would probably understand the engineering of this place better than you.
Subasa, where's the master suite?
Knowledge check. Go. And I'll take a raise. Because why not? 37.
Okay. With a 37, you would know that the style of house that this is, it would most likely be on the main floor, actually.
The floor we're on.
The second
Where?
floor would typically be reserved for guests. If you know that there is a third floor. The third floor would most likely, because of the age of this place, be where the training hall for the residents would be.
I give you that rundown.
You also know that there would be at least 1, maybe 2 basement structures.
Where's the master suite?
Do I have a general idea which way to go?
It should be in the back half of the first floor.
I'll take the lead. And I will also give a search check to look out for traps as we go.
Okay.
I had one rolled when we entered, Chris, just for the record, and rolled 20.
Okay, I will take a raise on mine.
You can't.
Or I can't? Why?
No.
Because you rolled before you said it.
That was my knowledge check to know where I'm going. I'm saying this is
okay.
I haven't made my search check for traps.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I did make a raise on the other one too. I said
A raise means that you're going to be watching out so to make sure your friends are not stepping in traps too.
yes. And that's a 28.
Okay. So you're able to find stuff like that's around that would be that would be designed for counter ninjas and shit like that. Like you find a loose board that if stepped on would release crazy knockout purple gas.
Crazy knockout purple gas.
Mhm.
I like this gas.
You are able to find another area that's got darts that would be fired from behind a rice paper wall and through anybody who tried to go down a hallway if they stepped on the wrong thing. You can see that the rafters that are up there have actually been designed so that they have little points and things like that inside there so that no one could be clever and try and use the roof as a means of getting around this place. or the rafters as means of getting around this place.
I
Sailing
keep
goblins.
everyone safe as we go.
There can't be sailing goblins.
No ninjas and no ceiling goblins. You get to what would be considered the welcoming chamber of this house. It would be in the center where the main hearth would be, and you open up the rice paper walls, and inside you see a gathering of young men, or ghosts that are in the age of young men, wearing what appears to be almost brand new armor. They have daisho on. They are all kneeling in front of this fire that has been lit with a ghost flame. To get to the to get to the master's residence, you would have to go through this room.
Let's go.
Try skirting around them? Like, are they pressed up against the walls, or are they like a...
Nope, they are relatively close to the fire. They seem
Alright.
to be kind of discussing things right now.
I just head right through them.
Okay. So you go right through them. You pass through without harm. They don't do anything or seem to care. You get to the final door right before the master's suite, and you begin to start to open the door. We're going to cut over to Tinshu.
All right.
Tinshu, you found the staircase that leads up and a staircase that leads down. You've checked the rooms. They are all guest rooms set out in a very similar way. One thing that you did notice that you did not notice at first is that the colors of the fabrics that have been laid out seem to match certain clans, all of the major clans. And then there's another room that has, or well, I should say all of your major clans are present. And there's another room that has kind of a straw color and black, which you only assume to mean that it was meant for C. Tsubasa.
What I'm not worried about is, the fact that someone prepared this for us. I'm worried that how fast they did it. This is too exact.
Destiny is a fickle thing.
Each room seems to be tailored for the person that's going to be in there. In Kikita's room, or the room that you suspect for Kikita, I should say, you found incense, scrolls, ink sets, pins, everything that he would need to take time and learn.
I get it, Chris. It's very ominous that someone was expecting us. Specifically us, not just like, people in general or people of these clans, but specifically us.
Mm-hmm.
I swear it's those drums.
No, it's Luigi's Haunted Mansion. Hurry up.
It is very similar. It is a tetrack, if that makes you feel any better.
I'm gonna try going downstairs.
Okay. You go downstairs and you enter into the main hearth room. You can see the ghosts discussing things. They seem to be about in their 20s. There's a hearth in front of them. You catch the group as they're about to open the door to the master suite. When you open the door to the master suite, you find hundreds of talkie drums that are broken and destroyed all over this room. This is the only room that seems to have any real damage in it. The bed has been overturned. There are scratches along the walls of things that look almost like human nails would have dug into the wood. There doesn't seem to be any sort of writing or manner to these scratchings. It just looks like somebody came in here and went mad.
So, Chris, as I walk up towards the group and I see the door, I see what's in the room as I'm walking up, I'll say, well, if you guys want better rooms, there's ones tailored for us specifically upstairs.
I thought you were dead.
Nope. I was kicked into a second floor room.
That's not how that should work.
By the way, this room has a window if you'd like to try that again.
But I have a feeling we won't be allowed to leave until we deal with this problem.
Hey, Tsubasa, can you do me a favor?
I step away from the direction of the window.
Don't worry, you'll probably end up in your room.
Did you end
Yes.
up in your room or
Yes.
another room?
I ended up in my room. A room specifically tailored for me. There's enough rooms for all of us, well taken care of, very recently, with our clan colors, and specifically for even our occupation.
We don't have time. The ghosts are almost matured.
And could you please stop talking up the haunted ghost army mansion?
There's a third floor.
Okay. Toshiro will look around and said, "We need to run, and we need to split up. Check everywhere."
I can go back to the second floor. And third floor.
Miramoto, head to the Miramoto-san, head to the basements.
Very well.
Tsubasa, head to the third floor. I'll continue the main floor.
Are you sure we won't get picked off one by one and die horribly?
That's why I say send Tsubasa to the second floor.
Many children's tales don't end well when these things happen.
No tales end well when these things happen. Hurry.
All right, gang, let's split up.
Okay.
Famous last words.
Let's go top to bottom in this place. Actually, we'll start with the one who would make it to his location first. Let's do it logically. Kikita, you are starting on the main floor. You go through the different rooms here. There's studies and things like that. You can find, when you start opening them, it's almost as if some of the spells have loosened on this place. You find animal hides that are hanging and being dried, stretched to form drum heads. Inside other rooms, you find the wood that would be used to shape and create new drums. It seems like a lot of the extra rooms around here seem to be dedicated to making taki drums and pieces that would be appropriate for it. The ghosts themselves do continue to mature through the whole process. For the one that went to second floor, which I believe was Matsu, correct?
I did. I'm
Okay.
going to start investigating more than just those rooms.
Okay. That's really all that's on the second floor is those rooms. So are you going to head up to the third floor with C?
I will, yeah, if I notice
You've
that
already
no
kind
one-
of gone through them. The only thing you have left is to like overturn drawers and open up cabinets and things like that, unless you really want to do
There's
that.
something that's going to kill me on the third floor.
we don't have the time. Yes, I will be joining him for the third floor.
Okay. You go up to the third floor, and there are 4 ghosts that are up there that are sparring with each other. These appear to be men of approximately 22 years of age. They would be men that would have fought wars by that point. They're scarred and they've seen battle. You can clearly tell. When you arrive, instead of simply going about their business, they seem to take notice of you this time.
If they seem to take notice of me, I'll let them know that I noticed them, and I'll nod and go about my business. I acknowledge them as a warrior. They're warriors.
Okay. You acknowledge them. They go back to their sparring, but they seem to be aware of your presence. This whole room is just a giant dojo. It's a simple sparring room. There are dummies that are set up. There are racks of wooden bokken. There are live steel weapons as well inside here. The spirits themselves seem to have an intelligence that you haven't seen so far now.
Tsubasa, anything else you'd like to look for?
There aren't any. There's not any rooms going off anywhere else. It's just the whole floor is the dojo.
C, what are your disadvantages?
One second.
I believe you have fascination.
Yeah, I do have a fascination.
Okay.
Or yeah.
These swords are swords from an older Rukagon.
The swords that they're using, or are they
possibly
physical
from-
swords in the dojo?
The ones that are in the dojo. Quite possibly from before the clan wars.
That means that they're all but impossible to
Oh.
find.
Oh,
You don't just see that
This-
stuff.
These would be rare to find. There are only a few samurai left in Rukagon that carry weapons that were made pre-clan war, Great Clan Wars. To find a cache of 12 swords, each of individual design, made from master craftsmen, stored away in a castle like this, just sitting in the Shadowlands, being forgotten about, is disheartening to your craftsman's soul.
These should not be here if this fortress was only taken a few hundred, 50
It
or 100 years.
existed during the period before the Great Clan Wars, but you would think that with people sieging the castle and picking on both sides, both the Shadowlands and the Hamora, that these swords would have been picked up by somebody. They're just wasted here.
These swords shouldn't be here, and he's going to go
Then they're
towards.
probably not.
Okay.
We're seeing many things here.
See, you go over to the swords and you pull one and you pick it up off the rack and you start to open up the blade.
Before he starts to go open it, I will go try to stop him.
Okay. C's going to continue because it's part of his disadvantage.
I know.
When you open it up, you can see the finely hammered tunes of a crafting skill that has been improved upon and changed over the ages, but it was fine even in its day. That this sword would rival and destroy any Gaijin weapon that was even put against it at this point. In fact, you can quickly notice things that haven't been carried on, that are proper techniques that should have been carried on, just by the mere glimpse of looking at this blade. The ghosts, their eyes turn green, and there's like an aura that fades back. They turn to you.
Put it down.
And they salute you as a warrior.
Tsubasa, resheath the sword, put it down.
Matsu, you know that there's no way out of this, that you're going to have to fight those ghosts, and that something has changed in them.
I'm telling him. And as I'm saying it and I see them do that, I'm pulling out my sword. Tsubasa.
Okay. Do you want to tell me? Do I notice what's okay?
The one you have is a Caillou blade.
All right. From my practice, would it be right of me to study it as it's supposed to be a secret blade that belongs to the Caillou?
You know that if you were to take it, first off, it would be a powerful weapon to aid you in fighting any sort of ghosts or Shadowland creatures. But beyond that, to simply return it to the Crablands would bring your family great honor. In fact, you may actually be just given the blade out of respect for your services if you were to return all of these.
And to my knowledge as a swordsmith, these look absolutely authentic and real.
Immaculate.
And, yeah.
They seem to be well taken care of as well.
You said that I'd be able to. What was the first thing you said I'd be able to use it for? If
you were to return it, you would bring great honor to your family. The ghosts are going to move in and start attacking because you guys have been contemplating and discussing things.
I'm going to say these must be returned to the Caillou, and he's going to resheath it.
Okay. So the initiative, if you would.
What stats go towards initiative again?
You have a cheat sheet there.
Well, it's also on the, if you have the character thing up, the manager, it says what it is.
I got it. Okay.
And the ghosts are going into full attack, by the way.
I am going to be also joining in full attack. I'm at 28.
I'm at 6.
Okay. Unless your school changes it, full attack gives you an extra roll to keep 1 bonus, but your TN is reduced by 10. And your move would be increased by 5, but you guys are all pretty much within closing distance from each other, so that's not going to matter too much.
My school actually does change a bit of full attack for me. Whenever I assume the full attack stance, I may move an additional 5 feet per turn in addition to the bonus I receive from the stance.
Cool. So the ghost moves in and goes to strike at Tsubasa, which is going to be and he's going to call 2 raises. He's going to attempt, or sorry, 3 raises, because he's going to attempt to disarm you,
Okay,
which will probably fail.
My
'cause
armor
it's 15
is
plus your armor.
Yep. So my armor is 19.
Okay. Almost instinctively, see, your body moves with the Caillou blade, and you just glance away his blow. The saya is still on, but you use the blade itself, like the handle portion, to just knock back his strike. It's almost like having a well-made blade really ignites your samurai spirit. A second one will attack. This one is just going to do a standard attack. That's going to go for you, C. Does a 20 hit?
Yes.
Okay.
By 1.
Going to do 21 points of damage.
Oh my.
Any sort of armor reduction you have can be used.
I think they gave me light armor, right? When they asked
yes,
for armor?
they did.
Yeah.
I'll be back. Gotta use the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 1 second. Okay. 3 reduction. So only
18.
18 damage.
Mm-hmm. One will attack Matsu for 22 to hit.
22 minus 10. He's gonna hit me.
Okay. And this one is actually going to do a blood drain to you. Essentially, it's going to reach out its fingers, and you're going to see like translucent reddish globs peel up from your skin and away from your body and float towards it. It's going to float to its fingertips, and it seems to be sucking it in like an insect would. So that is 12 points of damage.
Okay.
Reduction may be used.
Yeah. I have.
Then it will. The other one will make a standard attack against you and get a 15.
That meets.
Okay. It's going to come in and with a slash towards your midsection, the way that you would expect a well-trained student to attack. It is 28 points of damage. Again, production.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're ghosts, man. They're brutal. There are tricks to bring them down, though.
Hey, I'm designed to fight people. Fuck ghosts.
Next up is going to be the lion, Matsu.
There's a super easy way to bring ghosts down. Don't believe in them.
I don't believe in no ghosts.
Hey, man. That's how you bring down fairies. We'll get into that
Matsu, it
later.
is your turn.
Yep. I am.
Do you have regular weapons, or did you take any sort of ancestral arms or anything during creation?
Nope. I have normal stuff.
Okay.
I went a different route with this character.
Hey, it's fine.
I'm gonna use my katana, and I will be going all out on the dude who did the more damage to me.
Okay.
And let's see, what kind of do I want? I know I want to raise. What do I want to raise for?
Oh, they're dead.
Well, I can do a lot easily. Spell. I don't think I can make extra attack. I don't know what to go for because whatever. So I'm gonna raise
Your
for
target number to be hit, because you are supposed to know this before you roll it, is 15 right now with them in full attack.
I will be making 2 raises.
Okay, so that'll make it 25.
Mm-hmm. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Now, can I ask you, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
No, you know what? It won't really matter because I don't want to do that. All right, I'll just leave it as is.
I'd like to remind everybody right now that you do have fortunes, and fortunes can be used to cheat death,
I don't have fortunes right now.
except for Matsu, who doesn't have fortunes.
I lost my fortunes when moving to character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna beat 25 easily enough. Past 40 already. 44.
Okay, that will hit, and you are going to get your raises.
I'm going for extra damage.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Hold on. Full attack doesn't give me extra damage dice, right? That's
No,
just
it's
pure
just
attack.
for your attack.
That's
But
what I thought.
the smart way is to do what you did. Call raises for damage.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't fully need it, but I want to go all out because I don't know how to deal with these things otherwise.
Yep.
Actually, that's all my dice. That's 9 dice. Jeez. Ha! 9 dice panned out. 2 10s. Nice. 34. Nice. I rolled 34. Then I get. So I rolled 34, and my honor is 6, so 40 damage.
Okay. You slash through it, and it screams as you separate its upper half and lower half with just a clean swipe, showing the student what his strike should have been. The ghost fades back. You've destroyed his body. That's 1 down. See, it is your turn.
Okay, seeing as that blade felt so natural in my hands as I block that attack, I will draw the blade and come in with an attack with it.
Okay.
And I'll call 2 raises for increased damage.
Okay.
And I will also spend a void on the attack.
Okay.
Because, you know, I don't like dying.
The katana that you're using, the Kaiyu blade, is a 3 keep 3 katana. It is unbreakable, and it lowers their reduction by 2.
Nice.
Yeah, Kaiyu blades are really badass.
34. So the TN was 25, I think, with the raises.
Yeah, with the raises. Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be 5k3 on the damage for 27 damage.
Okay. You strike at it, and the ghost screams, and you can see that you've lopped off one of its arms. It reaches back, and it puts out its hand like this, and it just immediately smashes its hand, or what would be its hand, against your face, and it just goes clean through your skull. Let's see if he actually lands his attack here. Uh, 23 to hit you.
Yes.
Okay. He's going to pull blood from you as his hand passes through. The tricklets of blood will come out the backside of your head. It'll make you feel kind of dizzy for just a second, but you'll recover quickly. No real effect as far as the gameplay is concerned. And he's going to draw blood from you, healing himself a little bit. His arm will start to come back. That was his sword arm, by the way. The second one will attack you. This one will also attempt to draw blood. Wait, I'm rolling the wrong amount because they're in full attack. That's a hit. If I've ever seen a hit.
You haven't.
I was going to say I've hit harder than that personally, but that's a pretty good hit. That's going to be 12 points of damage. Again, reduction applies to all of this.
To whom?
To you, see?
Okay.
Because it was 41 to hit you. I assume I did fine.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure which person we were attacking. Okay.
Okay. So that would be basically 24 damage that you would have, or 2 sets of 12 damage that you took during this turn.
Oh, the last one did 12 as well?
It did a blood drain as well. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So 9 damage, another 18 damage. Okay.
Okay. For Matsu,
Yep.
the last one standing is going to attempt to strike at you, or at least the last one standing against you.
You know, my method of attack works better against when people are not also going full attack.
37 to hit you.
I'm at 15.
Okay.
God, I'm gonna die again.
He hasn't called for any raises, if that helps you.
The one that rolled 28 didn't call for any raises
22
either.
points of damage.
How many?
22.
God.
It's deadly, man. It's L5R.
I'm knocked out.
Okay. Matsu kind of lets out a grunt and then kneels down. We'll get back to that in a minute. Next is going to be C.
I'll attack again. Same thing. 2 raises, a spend void.
Okay.
And I have to modify my TN, I just realized. I'm at... oh, damn. So, plus 20 TN. So, never mind those
45
raises.
for 2 raises.
Never mind.
35
I'm
without.
void on the attack roll.
Uh-huh.
So... 34.
Okay. 34 is going to be a miss, because 35 is your baseline right now.
Right.
It's going to block you away as you come in because you're so close to that number. The spirit that is over Tenshu will actually be drawing blood from him. He's attempting to turn Tenshu into a ghost. Throwing that out there. Next is going to be the two that are on you. One is going to attempt to draw from you. Does a 12 hit you, see?
12? No.
Okay. By the way, they're shifting into standard stance because they want to increase their own defenses.
Because they notice how hard I hit.
Oh, I think a 44 does.
I don't know. I'm down.
Well,
One is
we're
attacking with
ghosts.
the katana, which is 20 points of damage.
I'm down.
Okay. C is not a seasoned warrior and doesn't go down with a grunt. He lets out a cry of pain, which Kikita can hear from the first floor.
He cries like a little bitch. I get it.
We'll come back to that in a minute. Matsu.
I'm dead.
Or not Matsu, rather. Matsu is down, not dead. You're getting blood drawn from you at
I
the moment.
have 4 points of wounds left. That's it.
Miramoto, we'll go to you first.
Oh joy.
Yay! Split the party.
I'm never.
Worked!
How did this work?
You died nice and fast and in a hurry.
At least I don't have time to get attached to my character.
Yeah, Matsu. Not Matsu, Miramoto. You head down into the first basement. Inside the first basement, you see that there are men latching spears. They appear to be about 22 years of age. They see you come down, and they seem to interact with you this time, which catches you off guard. They see you come down, and they look to you, and then they kind of shake their head, and they go back to binding these spears like they don't have time for your business, whatever it is here.
That's worrisome. Well, moving on.
Okay. The basements are pretty quick and easy to go through because they are large chambers, and there's a staircase down to the next one. When you get down to the bottom one, this is where things get really weird. The floor itself seems to be made of drum heads, and inside the center is this being that looks like a bunch of arms wrapped around itself to form what appears to be a humanoid shape. Looks like somebody found the Oni.
It's like, okay.
It does not appear to be aware of you at the moment because it's got its back to you. What you think is its back, anyways.
That's nice of you, Chris.
What would he do? He preferred if he had everyone at his back. Actually, this is another question. I'm pretty sure Bushido is against stabbing an opponent in the back, but this is an Oni, so does
Not
that
for
count?
Oni.
Yeah.
Oni are vile demonic spawn that don't deserve any sort of honor killing.
Okay. Good to know. I'm gonna make a terrible decision either way. So.
I charge in foolishly alone.
That's my goal.
What would you?
Stealing my thunder.
Roll for it.
Once again, the floor is made out of drums, so if you step on that floor, you know it's going to know you're there.
Yeah. Okay. I will slowly go back up and find the rest of the party.
Okay. You start to make it back up. Kikita, you've noticed that the spirits seem to be aware of you. They are beckoning you to the fire.
No, I got work to do. Sorry.
You're like, nope, I'm going to have to pass, and then you immediately start running around the first floor to find more stuff. You don't really find anything else. It's actually quite a small castle residence. After running around for a bit, you find the staircase that would
hold
go
on.
down to the basement.
I was just going to say, I go to the staircase to the basement because Miramoto's the only one that I know that can protect me. And he has actively gone out of his way to protect me.
Wow.
So,
okay.
You go to the staircase and you get down there, and the men that are fashioning spears look up at you, shake your head like you're messing with their business again, and this is when you see Miramoto come kind of like Scooby-Doo sneaking up the staircase.
I think the other two are dead.
You keep saying that and you keep being wrong. Let's hope that stands the reason this time as well. Anyway.
I heard them screaming, and then I heard dying. I heard their death throes.
I mean, if he keeps on saying it every time, one of these times he's going to be right.
Let's hope it's not this time. I found the Oni.
I think it's funny because that's something his father used to say all the time too.
That.
Like,
Was that you thought your party was dead if you couldn't see them?
Yeah.
Regardless, we don't have time to deal with it. I found the Oni. He's in the second basement.
Well, let us head there.
All right. Back down.
Why are we just taking my word for it and heading down there? What is wrong with us?
Let's ignore the rest of the party. Let's go in.
Matsu,
It's not my fault.
hang on to your character, please.
Why?
Because I might need a copy.
I'm just waiting for
You are a
Kachi
ghost,
to actually
brother.
tell me
Honestly,
we should go.
Chris, he's not going to be a good person to fight against because he's going to wreck the fucking party. He's designed to hurt in one shot.
You are a ghost, brother, and you might be used in this
Like,
game.
Chris, you saw how much damage I did. That's something he can regularly do, like 40 damage in a normal shot. That's nothing for him.
Yep.
He's like Kakita Samu, but not in a duel. And he's actually designed for dueling too.
Yep, you guys are going to be ghosts if you get left up there too long. So keep your characters ready, because I may end up telling you to start attacking your friends.
I'm going to have to... I don't know what to make now.
I'm waiting for because I just said what he said.
So-
What makes you think they're dead? And I said I heard their death throws.
And he did argue it, so
I
you
still
guys
have
go
not got a
down.
legitimate response of let's go to the Oni or let's not go to the Oni.
Okay.
Play the character, man.
As a reminder, you may spend your fortunes on others.
Oh.
Yes, Tom, your wealth of fortunes.
But it does cost twice as much.
Oh.
Luckily, somebody's been, like, fortune champing it out over here.
Well.
I do have one. I suppose I'll spend that on myself.
Yeah.
It's needed.
I have 2, because remember I spent 5 of those things to get a ally. So
yeah.
So like, if it's not too metagamey, I'll spend the 2 I have on Tenshiro.
It costs 2 to save someone's life. Sorry, it does not cost double, because the way I phrased it, excuse me. So it is 2 to save one person's life. So you're going to save Matsu's?
Yes.
Okay. Seed has 1, and if you guys combine efforts, you can save him.
Fine, I'll give him the 1.
Okay?
It says the guy who told the party to split up. Gee, thanks.
Also, Tom,
Matsu
just so you
and
know,
C, you guys feel reinvigorated. You fight back yourselves to consciousness, and tell me how you execute these Geki that are on top of you.
I'm going to tell you exactly how, right? They're on top of us, and they're just like, they have the hand in us, draining us and all that, trying to turn us. And, well, I don't know what he does, but what I do is, as he has his hand, like, on my head, draining me, I stand up and just lop his arm off, and then lop his his torso up, and just keep on slicing in a rage.
Okay. Once you're finished, you've expended all of your energy, and you kneel down. You have one wound left.
Mm-hmm.
For C, the one that's bearing down on him, in a fit of desperation, he's actually going to grab the
You have
blade.
2 on you, actually.
Sure. Oh, well, he's going to actually grab the blade and use the strength of the Kaiju blade to shatter the other katana, using the unbreakable quality, I guess. And get up and deflect the other blow and
Murdoch, your mic's pretty close again.
put a finishing blow on each of them, if that's how we're doing it. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you basically grab his blade and then immediately take yours up and just destroy his, and then go for a clean headshot and then a stab to the chest of the second one right behind it, destroying the bodies of all 4 ghosts, or all 3 ghosts that were left. You're both terribly injured and will need medical attention to be able to continue, or some sort of Shugenja magics. Miyamoto, I didn't mean to disrupt you, but you guys did spend fortunes, so I wanted to get that resolved.
That's fine. Alright. So I'm gonna justify that as like, I send a brief prayer quickly their way and hope they're for their survival, but we have to take care of this, so.
By the way, Matsu, you have the note still. Thought you should know that, because you might be one of the few that survived now.
Well, I survived this one encounter. I'm still at 1 health.
Kakita and Miyamoto will descend into the basement. Let's see, what time is it? Yeah, I'm okay to continue this combat.
All right.
It'll be short work one way or another.
I do not like the sound of that.
Well, if you guys don't finish quickly, it means you're going to die. Okay.
Don't worry, you wasted all your fortunes to keep us alive.
Yeah,
So
thank
guys
you.
could die.
So So you guys head to the basement. Kikita, you see what I described earlier. The basement floor is made of talkie drums, and there is this monstrous Oni that is inside the room that appears to be made of nothing but arms. His fingertips have arms, or his fingers are arms even, with little hands on each fingertip. It is a strange creature that you've never seen anything quite like it before. Actually, I take that back. You can lore Shadowlands to see if you've heard anything about this guy.
Lore Shadowlands. Lore my death. Got it.
What is gonna kill me today?
$5K3, and I rolled a singular 5.
It's okay, bro. We all know you suck.
Okay.
No, no. I didn't roll a 5. It only rolled a 5. 24.
I'm about to say. What?
Okay, 24. You know that this Oni is referred to as Kuroyuki, which means black snow. It is said that he beats the drum like the fiercest of snowstorms in the Shadowlands. That is where he gets his name from. You have also heard that with his many arms, he is quite the grappler, and he takes explicit pleasure out of ripping apart samurai and peeling them from their armored shells like peanuts.
Oh man, this is a little beyond.
He is a demon. He is an Oni general, by the way.
Oh, well.
Which is usually taken down by multiple crabs and siege engines.
Do you want to tell me this anytime soon before I try to stab this guy in the back?
Nah, this is the perfect chance to earn glory.
I'm just going to tap you on the back.
Hmm?
Go get him, Tiger.
I'll look back at you.
Go
I'm
get him,
scooping
Tiger.
and sneaking away. Like I'm backpedaling, and like as soon as you turn, I start backpedaling.
Hey, man, it's not running away. It's tactical retreat.
Miyamoto,
Okay.
give me a. Actually, what are your disadvantages?
Lost Love and Maho Witch Stalker.
Yes,
Not
come on.
useful at the moment.
No,
but I do
no,
have purpose for them.
Perfectly useful right now.
They're going to be useful during Winter Court, I promise.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Akita, your disadvantages, please.
propulsion, driven, and fascination.
On the other side of the shrine, because you've made it halfway up the stairs, you can, or on the other side of the mini-armed demon there, Black Snow, you can see that there is a shrine with a book, or rather a scroll, and a jade tattoo needle. Or tattoo set, I should say. It's exactly what you came for.
Chris.
Oh man, I'm gonna look up and pray to the void gods and try to utter the spell that allows me to dim door.
Okay. It will cost you a void point to do so.
Yeah.
How to put this? Since I have a sense of repetition, could I block the spear that tries to stab him when this happens?
Actually, just for the record, I'm not messing with spirits or Oni. I'm using the void.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different. Not that you would be aware of that.
Alright.
Yes, you can give those back. I forgot you had Dark Fate as well.
Oh.
Tom,
okay.
you have your 2 fortunes back. I have
Because
Dark
he
Fate.
technically can't die until his purpose is served.
Yep.
Wait a minute. This was his dark fate.
That's
Nope, not yet. I actually have already thought about that.
Oh.
perfect. I love not knowing anything about what the fuck is gonna probably happen to my character. It's hilarious to me.
This means I might survive this.
Also, I have to ask one thing.
You
said it was
also have dark fate?
No, but I got my 2 fortunes back, so I can use them on me.
Chris, I actually meant to ask. It's nighttime. Is it a full moon out?
I
Why?
didn't think about it. Yeah, he's got something that affects that. No,
I
it does not.
Just so you know, I have no advantages, Murdoch.
Why?
I have 3 disadvantages.
Why?
It is not a full moon, by the way.
Why? Because he doesn't need help.
Let's go.
You guys will have a surprise on him if you wish to go in there. But you'll have to walk across the drums, which will ruin that, unless you can find a way to jump or, ghost door.
I'm ghost storing to the needle and then ghost storing away.
Okay, that's the plan.
Do
like
I
it.
feel like I could get this off quick enough? Like, just
You
partially
can
open...
get there and surprise him, but as soon as you're there, he does stand the risk of actually taking you out, because it essentially takes 3 turns for you to be able to cast this spell.
I was going to say, do I believe that I can open the door, take the item, and then close the door?
You have no idea.
Oh, urgh.
You also have to factor in how much void you have. Because you've spent 1 already, you're about to spend 1 to create it, and if you have to do it a 3rd time, do you have the void to do it?
No. But I have fortunes to gain back the void.
There you go.
But if it takes 3 turns to cast it, I'm not lasting 3 turns!
Yep. That's what happens with spells that are higher powered.
Ugh. I'm going to Scooby-Doo sneak away.
Miyamoto, you find yourself alone on the staircase after
No,
a
I
few
tapped him and
seconds.
said, I went this way.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, I'm following. If he's like bugging out and going, nope, I'm just gonna take his word
Okay,
for it.
so you guys come up to the staircase, and the spear makers, their auras have changed. Their eyes are green. They seem to be a little bit more battle-hardened in their 30s now. Kakita, you know that they have become hungry ghosts.
Yep. Are they attacking us at the moment?
There's about 8 of them in this room, so you're stuck between 8 ghosts or 1 Oni that could end it all.
Those are good odds.
So I'm just going to whisper to Miyamoto, which one do you think we can deal with?
He's just like looks so far out of his depth. He's like,
Your battles training tells you that 1 enemy is easier to defeat than 8.
yeah, and you haven't told me why you were sneaking away, so.
When you go, the Oni, if you say the 1, I'm just going to be like, you realize he's an Oni general, right?
I'm assuming that's bad.
Yeah. Imagine bad, and then times it by 3. It's still worse than that.
I see.
Although, to be fair, if we engage 8 ghosts, the Oni will probably just hair us and kill us.
But if you engage the 1 Oni, the 8 ghosts probably hear
Also,
you
the
and kill
ghosts
you.
might turn you into ghosts,
Yeah.
and then you'll have to serve this Oni.
Yeah, but at least you won't be alone. You'd be with friends.
I hate this. This sucks.
That's my job as the GM.
All right. Toshiro's eyes are starting to glow jade-colored. He's unconsciously taking his seat out, getting his butt all warm. You ready?
No, but I doubt we have a choice. Shing.
So, ghosts it is?
I can't biting steal you at the moment. No! Fucking the Oni!
The Oni? Okay.
All
Like I
right.
said, 1 enemy.
Okay. Are you going to just charge up and strike it and try and do as much damage as possible, Miyamoto?
I mean, I'll look to Kakita to see if he has like a better plan, but like I have nothing else unless I can clear all of these drums in a single like bounding leap.
You think you could get across, actually, to get to him, but it's going to be like you're going to jump off the stairs, hit 1 drum, bounce off, hit another drum, bounce off, and then strike him.
You'll get there
But
in
it'll
1
be 1
turn.
movement.
All right, fuck it for glory. Let's do this.
Okay, so it happens just like I said. You kind of do this like awesome
So
kung
bad.
fu scene where you bounce off a couple drums, and it's like dong.
By the way, I'm using the Cry-Steel.
Okay. I was gonna say you can use both weapons, can't you?
Technically, I only strike with one at a time. Like once I hit my
Oh, I thought
third
you
level.
ranked up.
Yeah, well, I get to third rank, I get to use one, then the other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for
I thought
now
it
it's
was rank 2.
nope.
But, yeah, okay.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna spend a void point on this too.
Okay. Do you want to do some raises for damage?
Uh,
Target number is 30.
Jesus Christ.
I'll do one raise for damage.
Okay. So 35 is what you're shooting for.
Oh, get back here. $35 on the dot.
Okay. You'll hit.
Awesome. Does the Wakizashi have like any properties other than being Cry-Steel that I need to know about for this roll?
Yes. A standard Wakizashi is normally 2 keep 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is a 3 keep 3 weapon.
Oh.
Indestructible.
Mm.
And it counts as both Jade and Crystal, so it's going to supersede any sort of damage reduction that it has.
Neat.
And if you were fighting shadow creatures, it would actually do more.
Yep. Alright, so... pretty well, although probably not going to kill it. 56 points of damage.
56. It screams out, and all these arms open up, and it just becomes this ball, like this humanoid shape full of just like flailing arms. It gets up and it kind of does like this wheel turn to face you, and it hits the drums as it goes, dum, 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 and it comes around to face you. Kakita, you had prepared a Jade Strike, I believe.
Yep.
Let's have it.
And I'm actively going to be ready to dodge the fucking...
The whatever comes next. By the way, it grabbed a sword when it did its wheel turn.
Oh, swords. I understand swords.
It's about to get much worse.
I imagine.
A few dozen more swords.
So I'm at 6k5, and right now I'm in the realm of 60 to cast this thing.
Okay, you'll succeed.
So
As the spell's coming in, you can see that he's unsheathing this katana, but the katana, the saya, is separating into smaller katanas. Each of the arms is now armed with an obsidian katana.
Ugh, it has to be obsidian, doesn't it?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If I raised for Jade Strike, because I can, not this time, but another time, although I do get one free raise here, am I able to target his hands individually and count them as separate targets, or you will not allow that shenanigans?
No. I mean, you could if you're trying to disarm, but you can't disarm with the Jade Strike, so.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. Okay.
Because it's just a multi-armed beast. Which, by the way, he has a starfish-like mouth in the center of his stomach.
Huh.
That just screams, I'm going to be eaten in one gulp.
Or enter sword here. It's a nice little slot for it.
36.
36. Okay. It wails out in pain as you strike at it. It's going to take one attack here as it falls to the ground. It's just going to take a feeble swipe.
Is it dead?
Yeah, it is.
Woo!
You guys did a ton of damage to it. It's going to take its feeble swipe at Miramoto to attempt to curse him with some obsidian curse here.
Not this shit again. On the plus side, I may become clan champion and then go
22.
crazy. How much?
22 to hit.
Misses.
Okay. It will go in to strike at you. Is it going? Your call. Is it going to be a clean miss, or is it going to be like a deflection? How do you want to handle it?
I would deflect it with a crystal wakizashi.
So you deflect it, and it causes like sparks to fly as the obsidian shatters at the mere contact of that crystal, because crystal does destroy obsidian, and it becomes like these little fragments, and it tears into the drum heads and immediately starts collapsing some of the drums around you. The creature falls, and its swords smash into drum heads, and you can see that the small shrine pedestal behind it has what you're looking for: the scroll with the secrets and the tattoo equipment that you've sought out.
So I'm going to stab it a few more times to be sure.
I'm going to come over and just cut off the fucking Oni's head. Because if you've ever seen Crab, they take those bitches back.
To cut off his head, you'll have to actually strip him of all of his arms, because his head is technically his torso.
Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't realize this thing had a head.
It didn't. It had a bunch of arms that were shaped like a head that opened up and started flailing around.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
So,
Chris, you saw my post, right?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm fucking gonna use the spell slot to rip off his arms with the Jade Strike to take his fucking head.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I will investigate the scroll.
Okay. It is the scroll that you came for. It is the workings on how to complete that ritual tattoo, and what exactly it does. It basically acts as jade wood, and it protects you from the Shadowlands and from the creatures of the lying darkness. With the death of the Oni, the spirits are released and they become children again, and they will be free. This is our normal cut time, so I'm going to finish it up here with you guys collecting that and being heroes. The Tetrac is solved. You guys can get out of the house now.
Do we retrieve Tsubasa and Tenshu?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You'll carry their wounded asses out of there.
Bring the blades with me.
I'll,
I will regain consciousness.
Yeah, when you find C, he's bleeding out all over the place, but he's got like 12 Caillou blades that he's secured and protecting with his life.
I take one and put it on my belt. I finally found a blade worthy of me, and then I take the others and them two, and we head to the cart.
Yeah.
You guys find yourselves exceptionally hungry when you get back to the cart and you eat, and it takes a little bit of thinking from you, Kakita, but you know that more time than you've calculated for has passed since you've been in that house. You're not really sure how much time exactly, but just by the amount of hunger that you feel, probably at least days.
That's a good thing we brought a month's worth of rations.
That's going to be it for today's session. And I want to thank everybody for coming here and participating, because I thought this was a pretty cool episode today. A master's story, touching more into Kakita's unorthodox training from Kunitaru, our resident Shugenja master.
See, people call him a master. He just calls himself a guy who's in a position.
When we pick up next week, we'll have you coming back to the castle, because your journey is going to be relatively safe, and we'll actually feature Kunitaru as a person in the story again. I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in and viewed. We're down to 0 viewers, but at one point we had 3 actually, which was pretty cool for this show, because we usually don't get a whole lot. And a friend of mine, Chelsea, actually, DM Night Hag, posted about me having a similar overlay style. It's not copied. We did it at the same time, Chelsea. And might have banners and are way cooler.
Chelsea does what now?
She does an overlay that's very similar to the ones that I built for you guys. Which I think I may end up doing new overlays for you guys anyways, because I've learned some tricks since I made those.
You can start with Matsu.
Yep. And once again, just a kind of a heads up for anybody who's watching this later, make sure you do check out Dragon Ball Victory, because that's our new show for the channel, which I'm pretty excited about, even though I'm not playing.
Hey, you get to watch the fun of not playing.
I was going to say, I'll still be watching it on Tuesday mornings when I have my day off.
There you go.
If things change, Chris, and you're able to join that game, I would love to have you.
That's the great thing about Dragon Ball. It allows for people to come and go easily.
Mm-hmm. But
I mean,
that's pretty much all we have for this one. I want to cut it here because I know that Tom's got a pretty strict schedule about Sunday nights. So from all of us here, thanks for tuning in, watching. Please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Also check out the website, dropdice.com, when you get a chance. As always, we will see you guys at the gaming table.